Hello everyone and welcome back to MixBus TV. David here. Hope you're having a great day. If this is your first time on the channel, please consider subscribing. Also follow us on our social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. And if you want access to exclusive content, get on our Patreon page. We also have a store where you can grab t-shirt, mugs, gadgets. If you want to support the channel and help us make more and better content, hit the store. All the links are going to be in the info box down below. Your support is very much appreciated. But in these videos, I sit here and I reply our subscribers' questions, your questions. So feel free to leave yours in the info box down below. Keep watching and let's get to them. The next question is probably one of the most frequently asked questions about gear in general. And that is, what you think about summing mixers? Do you have a summing mixer? Why don't you have a summing mixer? What's the difference between analog summing and digital summing? This is a very touchy subject, and the reason is because there's a lot of market for summing boxes, and that is, well, let's put it this way. I don't want to rub anyone the wrong way. What I don't like about this bracket of gear is the marketing, because the marketing usually goes this way. The digital summing is flawed, so you need an analog summing box. There is nothing wrong with digital summing. I hear it. You can quote me. There is nothing wrong with digital summing. When your tracks when your single tracks sum on a group or on your two bus, that is perfect. Okay, we might not like perfect, and that's fine. We might prefer non-linearities of analog gear and slight phase shift of the analog gear. Look at my desk. That's why I have it. You know, one of the reasons is because I do love that too. But I'm aware of the fact that I use analog gear because I prefer that kind of sound, that kind of imperfection, not because the analog summing is inherently better than digital summing, because digital summing has nothing wrong, it's perfect. So maybe 10 years ago, 15 years ago, there was some sort of approximation or whatever, truncation. I'm sure it wasn't perfect. I don't know how much of a problem was, because even 10 years ago or 20 years ago, there was plenty of albums summed digitally that went number one and sold millions and millions of records, and we still love them today. So I'm not even sure, but I'll give the benefit of the doubt. We don't have that great of a hearing, as a human species. I mean, but again, jokes aside, no, I don't have an analog summing box. I don't feel the need, mostly because I do have a lot of hardware gear that give me color. So I don't need a dumb box, which is what I see the analog summing boxes being, to give me a color, because that's the other point. You're spending 2-3 grand on a box that on paper it should fix a problem that it doesn't exist, the digital summing. So let's put that aside. Let's say you buy it for the color. Okay, I'm with you with that. Why don't you spend the same money on any other piece of gear that gives you color and does something else on top of it? And there are plenty, because a summing box, it just gives you color and maybe phase shift and some crosstalk. Well, all these things, any color compressor, EQ, tape saturation, whatever, it will give you that. And it will be a compressor if you need to use it, and it will be more versatile, and it will have more controls, or it will be a goddamn EQ. I have my box EQ, my custom mastering box EQ, which has which is a mastering EQ to begin with, and it has two transformers in it that I can put in the pad or take them away just with a flick of a switch. Okay? And it's a mastering EQ, and it costs pretty much around the same price that you can find any decent summon box. Now, the more recent summon boxes started to add the models, started to have and add features to them, like limiters or different types of saturation or multiple choices for transformers. That's something that I like. For example, the Shadow Zeal. It has 3 transformers. It's a good option. It's a lot of money for 3 transformers, to be honest. It has a lot of other features, but if I had to buy something just for color, the API 2500 or any of my drummer FET, it will give me a truckload of color if I want, and they are compressor, and they are very versatile at that. So, and if I don't want to use the compressor, both API, for example, you can just run it for the color. Same for the West Audio Dione. Same for the Tegeler Cream. Same for the drummer. Drummer actually has a saturation knob, independent from everything else. So this is my point. A summing box, yeah. If you don't have any other piece of gear, again, you could have a point. And you don't want to mess with compression or EQ on your 2 bus, you are damn sure you won't. Or you're just, you want something simple. That's what the marketing of summing boxes aim at. Someone who doesn't want to think about how to set up their shit on a mix, which I'm not a fan of. With that said, take my words with a grain of salt, because I do not have, honestly, that much experience with summing boxes. I tried several, and I've never thought the price was justifying the what I was given. And but I keep my mind absolutely open. If tomorrow I'll run into a summing boxer that is amazing, is priced right, is versatile, and whatever the hell is gonna be the case, and I'm sold, and I will tell you, I'll come back here and tell you, hey, I found this one. This one's actually cool. Okay. Take for example another great machine that I tried, the louder than Liftoff Silver Bullet. I still have the EQs, by the way, so I do love the brand in general. They sent me the Silver Bullet. It was a great machine, but it wasn't just a color box. It has first of all, it has 2 preamps, with the routing, and you could, put line in signals in or track with it because it has preamps. So see my point? With the same money of a summing box, you can get all the color in the world and EQ, compression, preamps, whatever. So I hope this doesn't piss anybody off. I try to keep things real. Again, if I'll find a summing box that I like, I'll tell you guys. So now, but this is it, guys. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, please hit the like button and subscribe. Stay with Mixbus TV, watch another video, check out the playlist, and share our videos around on Facebook, Twitter. Hit the store. Your support is much appreciated. See you next time.